What's new in CloudBees CI 2.332.3.2? Are you new here? If you are, welcome. And if you are new here, you don't know who I am. My name is Darren Pope, and I'm a developer advocate for CloudBees. On Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, CloudBees CI 2.332.3.2 was released. We're going to take a look at some of the items from that release and also some of the important upgrade items you need to be aware of. If you haven't watched it yet, I did a video with Mark Waite for Jenkins LTS 2.332.3. There are a handful of items there that you might be interested in, so the link for that is in the upper right-hand corner. I would highly recommend that you go and watch that video. So if you've never taken a look for the release notes at CloudBees CI, let me show you how to get there. We're going to start at docs.cloudbees.com. We're going to go to Documentation, CloudBees CI, and then on the Documentation drop-down on the left nav, click on that and go to Release Notes. And from here on, we can take a look at the release notes for this release. Now, I do want to go ahead and call out this important that's here at the top of the page. If you are skipping versions from when you upgrade, so in my example here, if I was going from 332.2.4 to 332.3.2, that means I have skipped 332.2.6. What I need to do is I need to take a look at where I'm running, and then I need to review the release notes through every version that I am upgrading to. There may be specific upgrade notes that you need to apply to your environment prior to upgrading to the version that you're getting ready to go through. So you need to take a look at each of the release notes for every version between the version you're coming from and the version that you're going to. Now to start out, we're going to take a look at traditional platforms first, and then we'll go over and take a look at modern cloud platforms and call out just the items that are specific to modern cloud platforms. For traditional platforms, there's one new feature, and now you have the ability for Configuration as Code, or CASC, to force reload the bundle. To better understand that, go and refer to the documentation for this new feature. Under Feature Enhancements, the top three items here are all around enhancements for certain CASC features. I'll leave those for you to look at the details for. This next item is if you are using Bitbucket Server. There was an issue with rate limiting that's been resolved. So if you've had some issues with your Bitbucket server and your CloudBees CI server running into rate limits, this is probably the cause of it. Let's scroll down to the next section, which is Resolved Issues. And there are a handful of CASC related items that are here listed at the bottom, but I want to call out right now the one at the top. This is a response to security scans regarding the H2 database. In previous versions, the H2 database was being used within CloudBees CI for a few pieces of functionality. Now, although the H2 security vulnerabilities did not affect CloudBees CI at all, we've gone ahead and upgraded H2 to the latest version as a best practice. However, the User Activity Monitoring plugin used to use H2 under the hood for its data storage. But for this release, the backing store has now changed from H2 to just a JSON file on disk. So let's scroll down to the upgrade notes. Remember I was talking about upgrade notes earlier and understanding what happens from version to version. This is one of those times. There is an H2 database upgrade. You don't have to worry about that. It'll take care of itself. But if you are using the User Activity Monitoring plugin, what has happened is this has moved from using H2 as its data store to just using a JSON-based file. So if you're wanting to maintain the history of all the user activity monitoring that you were doing, then follow the documentation migrating historical user activity monitoring plugin data. Now, if you don't care about migrating that data over and you're willing to start fresh, then don't worry about the migration. More than likely, you'll want to migrate that data and you'll want to go through that document to understand how to do that properly. Now let's go over to our documentation for modern cloud platforms. So I'll go back a page, click on Full Release Notes for Modern Cloud Platforms. And the only item that's different here compared to traditional platforms is the signed Helm charts. A few releases ago, the images were being signed by cosign. And now the Helm chart is also being signed by cosign. So if you're wanting to verify that the Helm chart is valid, follow the documentation for Helm chart verification. If you have any questions or comments, you can reach out to us on Twitter @CloudBees. If this video was helpful to you, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to CloudBees TV yet, why not? Take a moment, click on that subscribe button, and then ring that bell, and you'll be notified anytime there's new content available on CloudBees TV. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.